Hi and welcome back to my channel. I have another video for you today, and this is my August reads. Yes, I know we have reached the middle of September, but I wanted to point out what I read in August. You don't see these monthly videos from me because I know they would be way too long, because I'm reading between say 30 and 50 books a month, and to try to do a review video or a catch-up video or wrap-up video, it might go too long. But I did think of a way that I can do it, and we're going to do it by means of numbers and stats. Let's go. Okay, stop recording because I had to grab a pair of glasses. I'm just using reader glasses until my prescription comes in at Pearl Vision Center. So I thought at first I would summarize for you what I have read for the year, and then we're going to talk about what I read in August. So far this year, I have read 278 books, okay? Of those 278 books, or with that 278 books, my page count for 2025 so far, 88,317. And I didn't break down my group of how I read these books, because the spreadsheet does it on an annual basis, or should I say on a progressive basis. So I just wanted to throw some things out at you. So I am on the summary page of my spreadsheet, and if you look here, that's the number I just gave you. I've read how many pages? Where's this total? Right here, 88,317. You can see it right there. And over here, we do have a breakdown of the genres that I have read for 2025. Let's run through them really quick. 122 mystery thrillers, 30 romances, 32 cozy mysteries, 18 women's fiction, 14 historical fiction. I have read 2 memoirs this year. In psychological thrillers, I have read 31. Inspirational romance, you can see I have read 4. Self-help, I have read 1. Paranormal, 0. I don't even know why I mentioned it. But romantic suspense, 10. 1 historical romance. And then I read 8 inspirational romantic suspenses and 1 legal thriller. That's the breakdown of genres for 2025. It's right there. Actually, I can make it fit on one screen. No, can I? Yeah, pretty much. Because I have read 1 straight fiction, 1 nonfiction, and 1 science fiction, and 1 fantasy. I guess I should mention those. So that is the breakdown of the genres for 2025 so far. You see my reading challenge goal is 350. And if you see down here, you can see I read 274 books with 4 rereads. Yes, I read rereads this year. So that comes up to a grand total of 278. I don't know where that 277 comes from, because that is wrong, but we're not going to worry about that for right now. And so that's the breakdown. That's a statistical breakdown. And what I think I will do is I think I would just put a scroll of that on the screen as I'm reading it. Hopefully you'll be able to follow it. Let's talk about August, which is what I have titled this video. Okay, so for mystery thrillers, that was my most read genre, and I read 14 books. And I think I might try to put this on the screen. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the size of the text so that I can put this on the screen with the book cover. I'll leave a little room for the book cover. So you see The Murder Machine by Heather Graham, Knife in the Back by Karen Rose, Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister, The Wrong Sister by Claire Douglas, The Locked Ward by Sarah Pekkanen, Gone in the Night by Joanna Schaffhausen, We Are All Guilty Here by Karen Slaughter, The Graveyard Girls by Rita Herron, The Whispering Girls by Jennifer Chase, Alibi for Murder by Debra Webb, Break Me Down by Anna Downs, Forget Me Not by Stacy Willingham, The Tenants by M.A. Hunter, and lastly, under Mysteries and Thrillers, Three Girls Gone by Carolyn Arnold. Now, hopefully you'll see on the screen historical fiction, the way I have an idea on editing this. You'll see Austen at Sea by Natalie Jenner, A Silence in Belgrave Square by Jennifer Ashley, and The Book of Irish Secrets by Susanne O'Leary. Now, The Book of Irish Secrets by Susanne O'Leary could be titled as a historical fiction slash romance slash women's fiction, but it's under historical fiction on my spreadsheet. Speaking of women's fiction, and I do want to fix this up, this is a mistake. Let me see if I can make this formatting the way that I like it. Okay, so women, I just wanted to center it. Women's fiction there is four titles, which are One Snowy Day, The Second Chance Bus Stop by, One Snowy Day by Shari Low, The Second Chance Bus Stop by Amy Zetterberg, Battle of the Bookshops by Poppy Alexander, and The Friendship List by Beth Miller. Now I want to back up to two titles, The Second Chance Bus Stop by Amy Zetterberg, and then The Battle of the Bookshops by Poppy Alexander. I generally choose the first genre that's listed on Goodreads or NetGalley for the titles that I am going to review, because my spreadsheet only has room for one genre, but these could easily fit under the romance genre. Excuse me for stumbling over there. And then romance, we're going to fix these because they should be centered and they're not, and it will drive me crazy next month when I look at it. And let's just fix this up really quickly. As you can see, I'm just centering. Okay, there we go. So, back to the spreadsheet. We have romance. Meet Me in the Orchard by Carolyn Brown. Once Upon a Time in Dollywood by Ashley Jordan. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. And that's it. And like I said, for the romance, we could have thrown those two that are up there, but we'll just leave them where they are. Psychological thriller, I only read one, and as you can see, it's Cuckoo in the Nest by Diane Saxon. I read one memoir in August, which is The Black Family Who Built America by Cheryl McKissick Daniel. There it is right there. Then I read one self-help book, which is Permission to Feel by Mark Brackett. I'm reading his second book now this week, and that is Dealing with Feeling. So I try to get in some memoirs and self-help each year. And then Cozy Mysteries is the last genre that I read in August, and they were Murder in Hollywood by Millicent Banks, Murder in Paris by Helena Dixon, and The Antique Store and the Deadly Inheritance by Claire Chase. And those were the genres. And I'm just going to show you again. I created this page on my spreadsheet so I could highlight mystery and thrillers, historical fiction, women's fiction, romance, psychological thrillers, memoirs, self-help, and cozy mystery. Now I'm going to show you how creative I get. Okay, we're going to just have a little fun. I'm going to rename this spreadsheet August Genres. And then I'm going to duplicate this page. And now I'm going to name this page, let me rename it. We're going to rename this page to September Genres. And I'm going to show you how I get such accurate information on my pages. And then if I go in and delete all of the August books for that genre, and then I delete the 3 books in that genre, the 4 books in that genre, you'll see why I'm doing this in just one moment. I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to clear that. See, I don't want to get rid of the rows, and there's a reason for that. And that's why I'm clearing and not deleting a row, because I could simply tap this and have the option to delete row if you see it there on the right, but I don't want to do that. I just want to clear it. And then I want to clear these 3 rows. Okay. So now I have my headers, right? Now, actually, I just thought of a quick way to do it. We're going to move genres over to the left. Just going to pick it up, and we're going to stick it right over here. Yeah, that's a nice, neat way to do it. Okay, so I just moved that over there. So now, if I do this correctly, I can take these 15 that I've read so far right here, right? I can copy them. And I can go to September genres. I'm going to stick them on the right for the time being because I need to move everything around. So let's make the columns a little bit bigger so you can see everything in the column. I think I'm just going to leave all of this on the screen. I'm just going to do this while I'm talking to you. So you see for mystery thrillers, the first 3 books I read in September so far, they were mystery thrillers. So I can I can throw those 3. I'm going to grab those 3 and I can cut these out and I can paste them right here. So those are the 3. So what's next? Fantasy. Okay, I don't have a genre for fantasy. So let's just do this. Copy and paste. But we're going to rename it fantasy. Where's fantasy? It's here somewhere. Scroll. Fantasy. Where are you? There we go. All right. So I read one fantasy. Will prescribe you a cat by Sayuda. Will prescribe you a cat by Sayu Ishida. Whoops, I did not copy paste properly. Let's see why I didn't. So copy and paste that under fantasy. And then it looks like I read 2 cozies right here. Oh, I wanted to delete that so that I know that I'm moving everything. Copy by murder. And I'm going to show you why I'm doing this. So bear with me. This is fun. Okay, Murder by Firelight and Murder on a Scottish Isle. Doesn't want to. We're going to cut that. And we're going to put that under cozy. Right here. And then we're going to go back up here. Oh, I did do a memoir this month so far. Lin-Manuel Miranda. So he can go up here under here. He fits right there. And then it looks like I read 2 mystery thrillers in a row. And I'm going to go cut right there. No, I don't want all of that. I only want this. I just want the title and the author. Okay. But it looks like I need to move fantasy down. So let's do that first. Let's throw fantasy down here because I know I only read 1 fantasy book. So now I can take these mystery thrillers. These 2 by Hank Phillip E. Ryan and Jeffrey Deaver and Isabella Maldonado. Put them right here. And let's give this. Actually, we're going to tell it to wrap the text around so that everything stays in that column. Do it like, no. We're going to stretch it out. Okay. And then we have a psychological thriller, which was My Husband's Wife. And with psych thriller right here. And then A Killer Motive is a mystery thriller, so we'll stick that one under mystery thrillers. And then Alice Castle is a cozy mystery. Murder in the Choir. I keep trying to grab the 3rd column, but I don't need the 3rd column. I just need the first 2. So we're going to cut that. And that, like I said, it's a cozy mystery, so it goes down here. And then we have, what do we have left? We have Life Begins at the Cornish Cove, I believe. And that is romance. So it's going in here. And it looks like I copied romance over it, but I don't need that. We're going to get rid of that later anyway. The Good Neighbor is And The Vanishing Place. They were both psychological thrillers. So I'm going to cut those, and I need some space. So I'm going to drop down, give myself 2 more spaces. And now I can paste those in. And now, let me get rid of this. I'm going to just, whoops. Let me just get rid of these columns that I don't need. Okay? So if we look at September so far, this is how my breakdown looks. Dead Post Society by Diane Kelly, The Code by Greg Hurwitz, The Couple Secret by Lisa Reagan, All This Could Be Yours by Hank Philip E. Ryan, The Grave Artist by Jeffrey Deaver and Isabella Maldonado, and A Killer Motive by Hannah Mary McKinnon. I read one fantasy book, Will Beside You Describe Your Cat. So far, I have not read any historical fiction. This month, so far, I have not read any women's fiction. I did read one romance so far, and that is Life Begins at the Cornish Cottage by Kim Nash. So far this month, I've read psychological thriller, which is 3 of them. My Husband's Wife, The Good Neighbor, and The Vanishing Place. And I know me, I'm going to read a lot more psychological thrillers, so I just made space for them. Memoirs, I have no more memoirs on my agenda for September, but this is Lin-Manuel Miranda by Daniel Pollock Pelsner. Self-help, I do have a self-help book that I'm reading, and when I read it, it'll go in there. And then these are the cozy mysteries that I've read, and that's what, let me just shrink it. You see what September looks like? I know you really can't see that, but it's there. That's okay. So now I can do something kind of neat that I just thought of. Go back to book survey. My next book is She Was Never Yours to Take by Jen Craven. I already know. I didn't put it over here, but I can tell you right now, or I put these over here. That's a psychological thriller. Okay? So I think to save myself time, and when I do my video for next month for my September reads, I can simply take this, I can copy this, now that I've created September genres, and I say, remember that I just said it's a psychological thriller? So that is where it will go, right there under psychological thrillers. So I think I'm going to save a little bit of time in September now that I have that. But we're going back to August where we have in this video, and here they are in the correct order as I read them during the month of August. So we're going to call that the video, and I think I will make a different conclusion in a different clip. So I'm going to stop this, I'm going to edit this, and hopefully it'll come out really neatly. And if it does, then you'll have a nice brief summary of everything that I read in August. And if you want any more information, I am putting up some book reviews on this channel. I'm not putting them up for every book because honestly, you know, I've got 12 or 1300 videos on this channel, and they're just getting lost in another. But we're going to stop here and see how it goes in the editing process. Thank you for watching.